everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you see, the beautiful backdrop here is the Gran Teatro Principal de Zaragoza. Sounds as a really tongue twister for an Australian girl. Thank God I lived in Spain for that long. But it's a beautiful theatre where I did my opera Tosca in tour of Spain and France. I'm Michelle Francis Cook, MFC Vocal Teacher, and today's topic will be looking at the parallel between opera singing and sport. So according to the BBC, there are classifications for sport. They come as follows. 1, effectiveness. Number 2, efficiency. Number 3, responsiveness. With these 3 skill bases, a sports person is considered good or not so good. Let's have a look at those 3 points according to us as opera singers. How does that relate to us and how can we compare? Effectiveness. According to the BBC, the skill of effectiveness for sports people include accuracy, consistency and control, and the confidence in their abilities to do their job well. So you need self-confidence. So let's have a look at that. For us as singers, how does that work? Well, we need to be accurate. There's no doubt about it that we as singers need to sing accurately at all times. Majority, 99.9% of the time, we need to be accurate with our notation so that we are singing together with our instruments and our colleagues with clarity and correctness. Then also the idea of control. We can't lose our control of our vocal facility while we're performing. We need to be, we can be free and emotional and expressive, but we need to be controlled at all times. And finally, with the effectiveness of our performance, we cannot walk on stage with a sense of low self-esteem or low self-confidence. We need to perform well. We need to be really confident in what we have prepared. We are walking on stage with knowing that we can do it well because we've rehearsed it that way. So we have trained hard to create a good performance. Same as a sports person. All those points are showing effectiveness in their performance on the field. We now come to the classification of efficiency. To be efficient as a performer or sports person, there are 2 ideas and concepts within that category, and that is excellent technique and also fluency. Let's look at technique. As a sports person, they are training every single day to keep themselves fit, to keep themselves fluid in their movements, their muscular strength, and then they are performing and they're working in that every day, playing their game and refining their skill base. As singers, we can't do any less. We need to work every day with ourselves, looking at our technique, our breathing, our muscular strength. We are constantly singing scales. We are constantly looking at our repertoire and working on it to make it even better each time. Within this category, we can look at the techniques of also, this is the techniques that I advocate, is the Monterey Cavalier technique for breathing and vocal support. So let's look at the Monterey Cavalier technique. You'll see some videos on her work with strengthening. As you can see, the weights are used for strengthening our diaphragm. This in turn helps us with our muscle coordination. We strengthen our ability to control our breath, which is, the breath is our material that we use to sing. If our air is not controlled, it comes out without fluidity and smoothness, then we cannot control our singing at all. Our breath control is everything when it comes to quality of singing. So like a sports person training with their ball, with their soccer ball or their football or with their golf ball, with their gloves on, they are working their technique to strengthen their coordination, to strengthen their skills. Fluency is the flow of our technique and the ability to control that while we're performing. Also, it's the control and the fluency of our language. Let us not forget that we are communicators as performers. We have a language to sing, whether it's English or German or Italian or French, Spanish, whatever language we sing in, we need to be fluid and skilled in our languages. We cannot be half-baked with our languages, because then we are only poorly singing, and communication is fundamental for good quality performance. For a sports person, they have their skill base and their equipment that they need to use. Ours is languages. Ours is the score. They are using the ball. They are using the net and all of their equipment, and they need to know how to use it correctly and well. So now we come to the final classification of sports skill according to the BBC, and that is responsiveness. How do we respond? According to them, the sports person must have quick decision-making skills and be very adaptive for high-quality sportsmanship. Now, for a singer, we too need these two skills to be responsive. And as a performers, our first one is decision-making. I know for a fact that every single opera singer had to quickly decide or adapt to a change on the scene, on the set, in order to continue the flow of their performance. In live performance, there is always a change. There is nothing that is exactly the same as rehearsed backstage or in the rehearsal room. So once we're on the stage, we need to make quick decisions on how we perform to create a better ending. And that is what we call improvisation. So that concludes our overview of the parallels between opera singing and sport or sportsmanship. Let's overview. We do a bit of a summary of what we have learned. First of all, that we are to be effective and be accurate in what we are doing. We need to be intensely skilled in training up our vocal facility as a sportsman trains up his facility or hers. So we need to have excellent technique training daily. We need to have our muscles well trained and strengthened. We need to have our bodies skilled in certain areas of music, in movement and dance and other forms of movement. We need to have our languages in order. We need to have stamina. So the only way to build stamina, as they do in sport, is to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and get fit vocally, fit in our vocal facility. Then we will look at our responsiveness. Our responsiveness, if we do know our music, we have studied it well, we are aware of our technique, we are very well trained, then we can go on the stage and know that we can improvise and change up at any time because we have memorized well and we are easy to respond and decide what we got to do next. So there are points on good performance skills paralleled to those expected for a sports person. So that concludes today our analysis on the parallels between sports skills and singing skills as opera singers. I consider opera singers as vocal athletes. As you can see, we do need quite a few of the same skills required for sports people. Next week, we'll be looking at a completely different topic again. We'll go back to looking at vocal techniques and tips and to help you as a performer on the stage and to help you sing with better abilities. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.